Corda. Yesterday morning and again this morning, 60,000 Dublin commuters could not get a bus to work. And if this dispute, which is taking place in Dublin Bus, escalates, there'll obviously be more people who won't be able to get a bus to work. And on top of that, we now have reports that there may be strikes coming up in Aer Lingus. Now, these questions, which you're responding to, Taoiseach, are about social partnership, which I understood was to resolve those kind of disputes and make sure that we didn't have industrial disputes over matters like rosters and tea breaks and changes in work practice. Are we seeing, as a result of these disputes, the unravelling of the social partnership process? And have you yourself, Taoiseach, contributed to that unravelling? I see that you were in Farmleigh last week with the Minister for Finance asking for wage restraint. Don't you have a hard neck to ask the social partners for wage restraint in circumstances where you're not prepared to exercise it yourself? And what do you have to say about the comment made by Mr. David Begg, who's not known for overstatement, where he says that your plea for wage restraint lacked credibility in view of the ministerial pay increases? And isn't it the case that the industrial disputes that we are now beginning to see, which are really, they're like an echo from the past, are to some extent an indicator of a worsening industrial relations climate to which you yourself have now contributed? Taoiseach has now on a couple of occasions referred to the comparisons with the private sector to justify the pay increase which he has given himself. Now, I understand those private sector comparisons when one is looking at, for example, chief executives of state companies and so on, looks at private sector pay, which may be comparable, and similarly, I suppose, judiciary in respect of earnings in the legal profession and so on. But can the Taoiseach tell the House what is the private sector comparison that he is relying on to justify his own pay increase? I'm not aware that there are private sector comparisons that can be made in respect of political offices. And secondly, since I asked specifically about the dispute in Dublin Bus, can I ask him, are there any plans to ask the Labour Court or the Labour Relations Commission, or indeed any of the industrial relations bodies that are established under the social partnership arrangement, to intervene in that dispute and to bring about a settlement?